The night air in northern Oregon was thick, moist and unnaturally silent. A cold fog had crawled in from the river and wrapped around the forest like a living thing. The locals called this place Hollow Pine Reserve, but most of them never dared to go beyond the old wooden sign that said, "Enter quietly. The forest remembers." For decades, stories circulated about people who went missing here. Hikers, campers, even a few park rangers. But no one ever found a single body. The woods simply swallowed them. Tonight, 5 college friends, Mason, Leah, Carlos, Jenna, and Ty, were about to challenge that legend. Scene 1. The Arrival. Mason drove the van through the narrow dirt road as fog brushed against the windshield. "GPS says we're close," he muttered. Leah looked out the window, her breath leaving small white clouds on the glass. "This place feels wrong," she whispered. Carlos laughed. "It's just trees, Leah. Relax. We'll roast marshmallows and make TikToks about the cursed forest." But even he noticed. The deeper they drove, the quieter it got. No wind, no birds, not even the hum of insects. Just the low growl of the van's engine. They finally reached a small clearing and set up camp near an old, cracked wooden sign. Mason pointed his flashlight at it. The words were half faded, but they could still read, "Don't answer when it calls your name." Leah frowned. "That's creepy as hell." Ty smirked. "It's just part of the charm, babe." But deep down, each of them felt a small, unfamiliar tremor, a whisper of fear. Scene 2. The first night. By the time the fire crackled, the fog had grown denser, wrapping the camp in a silver cocoon. They laughed, roasted marshmallows, and shared ghost stories. At midnight, Mason picked up his camera. All right, time to record the legend of Hollow Pine. He began filming everyone, laughing, teasing, until the microphone caught something in the distance. A faint sound. A whisper. "Mason." He froze. "Did you hear that?" Everyone stopped. Leah looked into the trees. "Hear what?" "Mason." This time, it was clearer, coming from the darkness behind them. The same tone, the same voice. Leah's eyes widened. "That's my voice." They turned off the firelight instantly. In the total darkness, the sound of breathing filled the air. Slow, wet, wrong. Carlos whispered, "Okay, that's enough from let's pack up." But Mason, trembling, pointed his camera toward the trees. The red light blinked once, and the whisper stopped. Scene 3. The Missing Camper. Morning came cold and gray. The fog hadn't lifted. Leah was gone. Her sleeping bag was torn open, her shoes still beside it. No footprints, no drag marks, just gone. Mason ran to the edge of the clearing, shouting her name. "Leah!" The forest answered. "Leah! Leah!" Each echo came from a different direction, repeating, twisting her name in unfamiliar tones. Ty's hand shook. "We have to get out of here." But when they tried to start the van, the battery was dead and the GPS was just static. Carlos slammed the dashboard. "No way! We just used it last night." Jenna's voice broke. "Something doesn't want us to leave." Scene 4. The cabin. They followed a dirt path deeper into the woods, hoping to find help or signal. After an hour, they stumbled on an abandoned ranger cabin, its door half open, wood rotting, the smell of damp earth thick inside. Jenna found a diary inside, covered in mold and spider webs. She read out loud, "They whisper your name until you answer. If you do, you'll never stop hearing them. Ranger D. Holden, 1979. Mason swallowed hard. So Leah answered. Tide kicked the wall. Stop saying that. But the forest was already listening. From outside, faint footsteps circled the cabin. Slow, heavy, wet. Then a knock. Knock, knock, knock. 3 times. No one dared move. A female voice whispered through the cracks in the wood, soft and trembling. It's me, Leah. Let me in. Carlos whispered, That's her. She's alive. And ran toward the door. Mason grabbed him. Don't. But the door swung open by itself. What stood outside wasn't Leah anymore. Her eyes are black, her skin pale as paper, lips moving out of sync with her voice. You didn't answer me last night. She stepped forward and the fire lantern flickered out. Scene 5. The forest takes them. They ran. Through the trees, through the fog, the ground felt alive beneath their feet, pulsing. The air smelled like metal. Ty tripped and fell. Mason turned back just in time to see something, long arms, shadowed and bending wrong, pull Ty into the earth like quicksand. Screams echoed in the mist. Mason, Mason, come home. Every tree seemed to have a face now. Eyes etched in bark, mouths whispering. Jenna grabbed Mason's arm. The camera. It's the only thing that sees them. He lifted it, trembling. Through the lens, he saw movement, dark silhouettes crawling between trees, headless shapes, arms stretching across trunks. Carlos screamed from behind, and when Mason turned, he was gone. Only his phone lay in the dirt, still recording. Scene 6. The last recording. Night fell again, and only Mason and Jenna were left. They found a wooden altar deep in the forest, a circle of stones with black markings. At its center lay Leah's torn jacket. Mason set the camera on a rock and began whispering, his voice shaking. If anyone finds this, the forest isn't haunted. It's alive. It listens. Before he could finish, something grabbed Jenna from behind, dragging her screaming into the dark. Mason turned and faced the trees. You want my name? Then take it! Silence. Then hundreds of voices answered together, his name repeated endlessly. Mason, Mason, Mason. The camera fell. The last thing it recorded was his shadow dissolving into the fog. Epilogue. A week later, the police found their van abandoned near Hollow Pine. Inside, they discovered Mason's camera. The footage ends abruptly, but the audio continues, softly, beneath the static. Leah, Mason, Carlos, come back. When the officer turned off the recorder, the forest outside seemed to whisper his own name. To this day, Hollow Pine remains closed to the public. Locals say on foggy nights, you can still hear someone calling your name from deep within the trees. If you answer, you join them.